The following is the extract of a course linked in the description.
Hello guys, thank you for joining me on this new video. So what I'm gonna do today is showing you a little bit more about, I'm gonna show you how to make some melodies. One of the things, especially with hip hop and with some other genres such as like EDM, they use samples. So we're just gonna look at a quick way to sample, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to reproduce one of a popular song there. That's really the best way that I would recommend for you to learn is really to reverse engineer to understand how people that right now really popular artists, some of the stars out there are making their songs, and how not to really copy, just to understand so you can make it your own after, right? So that's really the best way really to learn how to really make a hit song, is to first understand what is out there, what is working, and then you try to make it your own later on once you understand it. So if I jump in here really quickly on Google, this is gonna be the song. You probably heard of it, No Church in a While. It was Kanye and Jay-Z. We're just gonna listen to it really quickly. So that's just the part that we're gonna try to remake. And the thing with that is there is this channel over here called TrackLib that actually, so TrackLib is a website that actually provides you with a lot of samples of different artists, in different genres and different eras that you can actually sample and also license on their platform. One of the things that they do on their YouTube channel, however, is to show you how some songs were actually made with samples. So they break down the sample, the song actually with the sample. So if we come up here, you're gonna see over here, this is gonna be the one that we're gonna do. So it just lets you know whatever has been used. So this is just what we're gonna try to remake today, right? So it's using two different samples, right? And I have downloaded them here, right? So we have Sunshine, Help Me, by Spooky Tooth, and there is a Case Cop 2000 digital remaster, Case Cop 2000. So I think that's what it is, right? So Case Cop by Phil Manzanera, right? And there is Sunshine Help Me by Spooky Tooth over here. Sorry if I pronounce it pretty badly there. So once we have that, I already downloaded those two songs. Again, this is just for learning, for you to understand it. With samples, there is a little bit of you need to do a little bit more research on licensing. Clearing the sample is totally out of the scope of what we're talking about here. But we're just gonna go ahead and see how that works, right? So once this is downloaded, I have opened here FL Studio. The plugin that's gonna help us with, there is different plugins. So the plugin that's gonna help us with that, FL Studio come with a couple ones. You have SliceX over here, and this is what we're gonna use. But let me just show you a couple other one. I think the other one is it's the 3D slicer over here. That's the second one that is also used to kind of cut samples on an audio file, right? That you could use. And I have another plugin that I actually purchased, which is Serato sample over here, right? This is another one that could be used. They kind of all do the same thing, so it's just really up to you to understand how they really work. But what we're gonna focus on is just the slice X because that one is free and it comes with FS Studio, and you can basically follow the same thing that I'm doing over here. So I'm just gonna download. I'm gonna delete this one as well. So over here I have the slide set that's gonna be open. The thing I just need to do is to drag and drop the sample over here. So the song is here now. If I play it, the song is playing. What I'm gonna do is, because I know that just looking at the video that has been made there, this sampling just the beginning of that song. So this is where I'm gonna be. And with slice text, usually the way I use it is I'm gonna double click to mark where I want it to start, and I'm just gonna come up here and click this, and it's gonna mark it. So this is gonna be my start. I'm gonna press play, and basically around here this is gonna be the end. So I'm just gonna press it again, and so this is over here is now my region, and this is basically the length of the sample. So if I play it, so my thing now, you're gonna see that it doesn't really start and end where it's supposed to be. So the first thing that we're just gonna do to help us is we're gonna just zoom all of this, right? Just so we have a better view here. And now I can go ahead and resize it now. The one thing that you need to make sure is when you come up here to the magnet that is here, so this is part of the snap. If we say snap to grid, it's gonna try to make us fit over here some of the lines that we have here. But in this case, that might not work for us because that might not be where the actual song is actually starting, right? So this is something that you need to pay attention to. In this case, it seems like it is. So if I try to just have it like this and I play it, it seems like it's a right length. Sometimes as well, you might be better off using snap to zero crossing, because that is actually looking at part of, if I can snap, if I can, what, let me just select over here. So it's looking at the middle here where this sample is at the zero line over here. So because if you cut it when it's not at the zero line, you're basically gonna hear some type of click or pop on the sample. So you need to make sure that you're really on the zero line. That's where it's really cut properly, right? So let's go ahead and let's just have it again here. So in my case over here, it looks like that length that I have selected, that's the right one. So if I play it, and one thing that is good over here with slice X is we can just select that infinite loop over here, and it's just gonna keep repeating the loop, right? So we make sure that helps us make sure that we have properly sampled that part, right? So this is the first one. That's basically the first sample on that song. The second one, we're gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna come up here again, open Slice X, and I'm gonna drag and drop the second song, right? So that one, just because I listened to it, I have an idea where it starts and where it stops. Let's go ahead and let's do that. So I'm gonna play it. Actually, just start over here. So I have an idea where it start and stop. I just need to listen to it again. So let me just have it here. Let me zoom in just like this, and let's listen to it. So I think it's a little bit. That seems to be the beginning and the end of that sample, right? So that seems to be to me the beginning and the end of the sample. One thing that you're gonna notice with that second sample is they actually pitch it down. So if we listen to it over here, so you notice that they actually pitch it down. So the way we can do it here on slide 6, you could actually come up here. So if when we have this selected over here, you're gonna have this region settings over here. You can select. So if we select this, we're basically, you know, modifying the second region that we have there. If I just have, we're basically modifying the second region. But if we have it here, we're modifying marker one. And with marker one, you have like different buttons over here, but the one that we're interested into is this one over here that says speed, but it's not actually speed because if you read at the top here, it's gonna say pitch, right? So this is where we can pitch it down. So if I go ahead over here and I try to bring it down, so basically 100 cents is for it to be pitched down, basically half a step, right? And half a step, before we go a little bit too far, let me just come up here. So this is what we have over here. So half a step is from here to here. So that interval, this is half a step. From here to here, that is a full step. So we have one half step and another half step over here, and that is a full step. So when we go either up 100 cents or down 100 cents, we're basically going down one half step. Okay, so basically in their case it seems like they go down a few a few half set or semitones as well. That's the other name, and we're just gonna try to do the same thing over here. So when you move, so with the pitch over here with slice X, you have this pitch button here, but you also have over here the master pitch. The main difference is just like the pitch that you're gonna use here, just gonna modify this region over here. But if you use this one on this if you use this big master pitch over here, it's gonna modify the pitch of this one and the pitch of basically the whole entire song, right? So it just depends on how you want to do it. Maybe you want to keep the maybe you want to have marker 2 to be at a normal pitch, but you just want marker 1 to be down pitch. This is where you're gonna come and break it down, right? Sometimes as well, what other people do when they have found the samples, the sample over here that works well for them, they're just gonna delete everything else. And I believe the way we do that here, we just say trim. I believe trim is uh, let me just zoom out over here. So that here we go. So this is basically we have trimmed out everything. So we just left with what we really need out of that song, right? In that case, whether we use this over here or whether we use the one on top, it basically the same thing. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna come up here, and I believe just by listening to it, seems like they go down about 500 cents over here, which is basically five half steps. Um, and I'm just right now it doesn't look like I'm able to reach 500 cents on the dot there. So what I'm gonna come up here, I'm just gonna come up here, and I'm actually just gonna write it down, and I'm gonna listen to it by clicking here. So one thing that I found a little bit weird with Slice X is once I have pitched it down and I'm trying to replay it here, it doesn't replay to the pitch, either this one or that one that I have it now. You just play it to the same one. But for it to play to the one that you have now, you need to come up here or press, or maybe if you have a keyboard, I have my keyboard there. My keyboard is enabled, right? Here we go. So on my keyboard is playing. So my keyboard is playing. So this is the thing. So I believe it is actually 600 cents. Okay, so from here basically we have basically the parts that we need. um, and what we're gonna do, we're just gonna come up here, select the marker that we need over here, the part that we need, and we're just gonna select this, and we're gonna drag and drop it here on the playlist, right? So we're gonna drag and drop it here on the playlist. That song, um, of No Church in the Wild, I believe it is at about 90 BPM. So if you listen to it, so let's listen to it, and we're gonna type it actually in FL Studio. So you see it's about 90, 92 over there. So that's what we need to do. We just need to make sure that we are at 92 here. And if we come up here, as zoom in, you're gonna find that this sample here doesn't really fit the whole length, right? So the way we're gonna make it fit over here, so if we play it, but it doesn't really fit the whole length. If there was other things that were here, that was going to be an issue. So we're just going to select it here, and you have this thing over here, this button over here, this knob that says time. We're going to right click on it, and over here we can ask it to fit a length. So over here you have one bit, which is just this length over here, and it's just going to fit it here, and you're going to listen to it. That's not what we want, right? We want it to actually fit this length over here, which is the bar. So we can come up here, make it here, now it fits, right? Or we can come up here and say go to 2 bar, and you're gonna say it's gonna be a lot slower now, right? That's not what we want as well. So we just wanna have it at 1 bar. Now it fits properly, right? So basically we have it now ready. And the other thing that we need to do is just to come up here. Sometime FL Studio is gonna have it. It's gonna have those channels actually grouped. So right now it's just showing channels that are actually audio, right? I'm just gonna go to all so I can see as well some of the synths that I have there. I'm gonna bring this up over here. So now this is the second one that I have, right? And with that one, I'm just gonna come up here, drag and drop it here, right? I'm just gonna move it here, and this one as well doesn't fit. We're gonna do the same process, double click on it, come up here. You could do that, or you could just select this one as well, right? But you're gonna see maybe sometimes as well it's not really too accurate for you. This is why it's maybe better just to come up here, just put 1 bar, and it's gonna fit in nicely. Once that is done, when we're gonna play it here, basically this is how what we get at the end. So the main thing really to keep in mind over here is to practice, right? To practice, because there is a lot of concept that comes into play over here. You need to learn this instrument. You need to make sure that you're able to match the tempo, where to find the samples, where to cut it, where to start it. So there is a lot of things going on, and the only thing is really to practice. You could find that same song, practice it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times until you're able to remake it fairly quickly. Then find another song, try to redo the same process for you to understand the mechanism of sampling. Once you have it, then it's up to you to go ahead and look for some samples that you can sample. Usually I would probably recommend trying to find, if you're able to find samples that are royalty free, right? It's gonna be easier for you with clearing. You don't need to worry too much about it. If you sample the song of Lady Gaga, or any of those other rappers, or any of those other famous artists, there will be some legwork you will need to do later on if you want your song to be released and played, right? If not, you could have some legal trouble. People could sue you, even though at times, your song really need to be played everywhere for them to realize that, they you have sampled their work, right? But just for to avoid to but it's up to you. You could go that route, or you could just select royalty free samples and not have any issues there. So that's what I have to say about it. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I will talk to you in another video.